All right. Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. I'm with Clark Vogler of the Toadies. Clark, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
So, first of all, love the crazy whammy dives. It's kind of part of the Toadies thing, right?
It is part of the Toadies thing, and you
don't get away from it.
You have to have a locking tremolo, or you can't do all that crazy dive and expect to still be in tune.
Yeah, you're not going to do that on a Bigsby.
No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And because of that, I didn't want to. I love jazz masters, but I didn't want to like route a real jazz master out.
Sure.
To put one in. So
yeah, kind of heresy. So
yeah, exactly. You understand. You understand.
Yeah.
So instead, I just put one together from Warmouth parts.
Cool.
And kind of got to customize and
very cool.
And get the whammy.
Yeah, very cool. So did you literally you bought a body, bought a neck, and put it together yourself, or find a luthier?
I had a friend do it.
Good for you. Yeah.
But you know what? I was on Warmouth.com today, putting together a Mustang. So I think this next time I'm going to try to put it together.
Oh, really?
And learn how to wire it, learn how to set it up. That's my
worst
plan.
case scenario. You mess
Send
it
to
up.
the guy.
Give it to your buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. So is this your number one?
This is my number one. I used to play this Strat that came from the custom shop. That sounded good. It plays good. It's still there, but it's my backup. As soon as I put this together and started using this amp, then all of a sudden I started getting compliments about my tone. And nobody had ever really complimented me about that before.
Oh, really?
So I've just kind of stuck with this setup. It's working for me.
I mean, what do you think? Is the tone that much better? Does this guitar just look cooler?
The guitar looks cooler.
Because the guitar looks very cool.
It turns out it's actually harder to play than the Strat because the scale is a little bit longer and the tension's different. It screws me up a little bit. But I think this one doesn't distort as easily, and so the tone is just it's a little richer before it breaks up. And, and it's a little bit on the restrained side, tone side.
Cool. And what pickups did you choose?
I can't remember what this one is. This one right here is a Seymour Duncan custom, because I called the company and talked to them, told them what I need. And in this band, I got to do a bunch of feedback. Like there's a lot of songs that just have
noisy
20 or 40 seconds of feedback, but it's not atonal. It's got to be musical feedback.
Yeah.
So they directed me to this pickup, which is absolutely perfect. If I hit a D chord and I start getting the feedback, if I hit my feedback pedal, then it's going to be all these nice harmonics up and down that chord.
Ooh, let's hear that.
I only got a couple of them there, but depending on the stage in the room, you can move around and get like your fifth or your seventh.
That's so cool, man. And the cool thing is it almost like sounded like some chorusing and weird verb, and that was just overdrive.
That's just that one. I mean, I pretty much just use one overdrive pedal. I keep this one. The amp's kind of dirty.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to like really go feeding back.
Yeah. Wow.
Instant feedback, yeah. So
it's almost like a sustainer, man.
I mean, it'll just keep going. It'll keep going. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay, very cool. And the Floyd Rose, of course,
Floyd Rose, got to have,
Yeah.
Locking system stays in tune.
Yeah, great.
Pretty simple.
Okay, fabulous. And then the Strat is your backup.
Strat's my backup.
Let's talk about your amps.
Okay.
Or your amp, rather.
Well, it's interesting. I bought this combo, just for my home practice unit because I wanted something that sounded good to be inspired to play at home. And our singer Vaden said, well, bring it in the studio just in case. We'll see how it sounds with things. And we ended up plugging it into this, and we used it all over that record, which is No Deliverance. And then, pretty much that week it just became, well, let's just make it part of the live setup.
Right.
And it turns out since then I have become endorsed by Orange. I'm an Orange artist. But I've yet to replace my whole rig because this one's working so well.
Yeah.
But it's just a 30-watt combo, powering a 412. Now the speakers in here are not plugged in, so that's really just acting like a brain, and that's your speakers.
Well, but for 30 watts, I mean, man.
It's barely not even halfway
down.
Yeah.
He was nice enough to like cut his volume considerably when he started this interview, and it is really loud. So I imagine in full flight, it's peeling paint off the
It's way
floor.
more than I even need, I mean, really, for even big rooms, this 30 watt through that just fills it up on my side of the stage.
Yeah, any more than that and you're like drowning out the drums.
Yes, yes.
yeah. Great, man. Okay, very cool. So, and the orange cab is?
It's just a standard orange cab I got new in '96. pretty sure there's Celestians in there, but I couldn't promise you. Never opened it up. And
never had to,
it's
huh?
just stock, yeah. It's just been working.
Very cool. Okay, now let's talk about your very modest pedal board.
Very modest. I'd like to keep it, I like to keep as few things in between the guitar and the amp as possible.
Sure.
And so I really just have a tube screamer. I've gone through a few different, all those tube screamers work. They have the various configurations.
Yeah.
Those have always been kind of my just go-to for noise or solos or feedback or whatever. It can just do it all.
Yeah, the TS9, isn't it amazing? They got it right.
It's just so simple. And
they got it right like 40 years ago.
Yeah, and they're still selling them.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much my everything pedal.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need a little bit of reverb, and so that'll go, maybe if I'm doing feedback on some songs where it's got to have kind of a spooky, haunty feel, then the reverb will come on.
Yeah. That is spooky.